It's a very unique lake. It's one of the largest inland lakes in Ontario. Its habitat, its depth, and its productivity make it a renowned walleye fishery. It's known as a walleye factory. Everything about it makes it a perfect walleye fishery. As a result, you've got, you know, at one time you had 125 tourist establishments on the lake where people come to go fishing. And you also have a commercial fishery run out of Nipissing First Nation. Doki's First Nation also depends on its resources, and the people in North Bay and West Nipissing depend on it for recreation. So it's a very heavily dependent on resource, very heavily used. It's got 42 plus fish species in it, so it's very diverse for fish community, but of course the top predator is the walleye, and that is the dominant fish right now. And you know, it's certainly had its ups and downs over the years.
When the Chief and Council made the fishing law, they also knew that we needed more than just a fishing law. So we did also start up a fishery department and hired Richard Rowe as our biologist. He keeps the numbers of all the fish and how many fish are caught, and also makes recommendations to Chief and Council on what would be the best thing to do for the fishery laws, if we have to make amendments or anything to make sure that the fish populations stay the same or sustained.
Yeah, well, I guess the planning starts for the whole process about a week before, getting the net, the gear ready, the net locations ready, and that sort of thing. And once the nets are set, we go out there in the morning and lift them in sequence, because the nets have to fish for approximately 24 hours, each net. So once we do that, we put the fish, we kind of keep them separate by area, make sure every area is kept separate. We bring them back here for biological sampling.
Okay, well, you're in our humble beginnings of a fish lab or a fisheries assessment lab. This used to be an old garage that we've converted for our use, and this is the off-water part of the sampling for fall walleye index netting. So the nets are lifted off the lake, the fish are sorted by nets, and now we do the biological sampling. So Grant's set up at a table, and he's going to measure the fish's fork length, its total length, the weight of the fish, whether it's male or female, whether it's mature or immature. We'll take aging structures. The only thing left of the fish when Grant's done will probably be fillets, and those go to the food bank. So nothing is really left once we're done here. This lab is critical to get the work done, just because this is where I get all the information I need in terms of fish's growth rate, how old fish are, so the ages of the fish get determined here. You know, even numbers and size classes and different things like that to see how many little fish are coming up versus how many big fish are out there spawning. And that can kind of allow you to project into the future as to what's going to happen next, and it allows you to set your regulations so that you protect the fishery.
You know, we say we are stewards of the land, we're the protectors of the water, and our traditional values are to respect balance in nature. And yeah, we're living up to our values, and we're showing that we stand behind our values now.
Oh, pretty good size ones, eh?
Yeah.
So our scale's a bit small, so we got to do them one at a time, or not, about 4 or 5 at a time right now, until we get a bigger scale.
What are you doing right now, Rodney?
We're usually measuring them about 4 or 5 at a time, and I'm just keeping track on this paper so we don't, you know what I mean, just so we're not losing track of what we're weighing. So we have one guy to load them onto the scale, and as he's done, after I'm done taking down the information, he loads them into the cooler where they're put on ice and until they're brought to the fish market. Well, I think this kind of brings us more into the mainstream commercial fishing. The way it was in the past was, I think what happened in the past got us up into where we are now, and now it's just to take that next step and to become more of a mainstream commercial fishing. To get the whole idea of this type of setup is to get full market price for our fish, as opposed to selling them cheaper like under the older system. This way is to get the maximum value per fish that's harvested from the lake. So that's the whole idea of having a fish market and doing it this way. But obviously you can see there's a little more cost to doing it this way. There's ice involved and coolers and all this stuff. So fish have to sell for more to make this whole process worthwhile.
Probably on the fishing side, it's the fisherman side. It opens up markets for us. It creates where we don't have to be scared of selling our fish and getting caught selling them. It also creates where we've always have a place that we're sure that we're going to be able to sell part of our catch or all of it.